Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Eye of the Beholder, where we continue to review Dungeon & Dragon miniatures produced by WOTC and WizKids for the 20-year time span between 2003 and 2023. With this video, we finish up with the Goblinoid minis with the Bugbears. Fair warning, I have a soft spot for Bugbears. From the ridiculously comical art in the OG Monster Manual to the furry badasses they evolved into, Bugbears are cool, so expect a modicum of scoring creep. They are by far the largest and strongest of the Goblinoids, topping out at 7 feet. Despite their superior nature, they often play second fiddle to hobgoblins while in their company, preferring to handle the hack and slash while their smaller cousins deal with the petty dalliances of running a war party.
We get our first Bugbear in 2003's Dragon Eye set, and he's a named NPC to boot. Meet Urthok the Vicious, who I'm sure lives up to his nom de plume. Fully armored in chain and shield, he wields a nasty-looking axe, currently raised high above his head in preparation to strike. The face is a bit indistinct, but I like the long black braid running down his back, plus the added spear strap there should he decide to impale some pesky mage out of axe range. Score: Paint 13, Pose 14, Playability 13, Pizzazz 13, for a score of 53. We also get a plain old Bugbear from the same set. Not nearly as well armored as the previous mini, he strides into battle with naught but a wooden banded shield, albeit with cool fists carved into its face. Clad in a brown tunic and boots over tan skin, we get a much better facial detailing on this one. You can actually see the grimace on his face as he raises his spiked mace to strike down his foe. Score: Paint 12, Pose 13, Playability 14, Pizzazz 13, for a score of 52. A year later, we get this burlier, hairier Bugbear from the Giants of Legend set of 2004. A harbinger of what's to come. See what I did there? It's called a Bugbear footpad, and I really like the direction WOTC is going with their Bugbears. Leather and chain armor cover the tawny-furred torso as he snarls at his opponent. Shield in one hand and mace in the other. There's a lot of cool details here, especially for a common. Note the dagger strap to his back, and how the foot wrapping covers the instep of his raised right foot. Score: Paint 16, Pose 18, Playability 15, Pizzazz 17, for a score of 66. We take a step back size-wise with this mini from 2005's Angel Fire set, called a Bugbear Champion of Irithyll, who is a god of hate, malice, and slaughter, so yeah, perfect for Bugbear worship. Pose charging forward with pickaxe raised high, he is fully armored in chain and greaves, but with his face uncovered revealing light brown hair, beady eyes, and tusks thrusting up from his lower jaw. There's some particularly nice detailing in the chainmail, particularly the Bugbear medallion on his chest. Score: Paint 12, Pose 14, Playability 13, Pizzazz 14, for a score of 54. From here on out, we enter a golden era of Bugbears where WOTC gives us one banger after another, starting with his Blood Ghost Berserker from 2006's War Drum set. The dark gray fur is a stunning change from the more standard tawny color, perfect for blending into dark moonless nights with the intent to inflict some carnage on a hapless village. Dark leather breastplate and braces are it for armor, while its double-bladed axe, pitted and scratched, is ready for some action. Score: Paint 14, Pose 17, Playability 20, Pizzazz 19, for a score of 70. From 2007's Unhallowed set, we get this Bugbear gang leader, and he is glorious. Pose charging forward, arms akimbo with hammer in one hand and a mace in the other. This guy is absolutely gearing up for a little ultra-violence. His brown fur is nicely set off with a bit of dark wash, and his facial features are great, set in a battle cry as he charges forward. Brown leather armor, bracers, and greaves complete the look. And best of all, this mini is a common, making it easy to get a bunch to drop onto your PCs. If you haven't guessed already, score 100. A year later, we get this Bugbear in the Dungeons of Dread set of 2008. Called a Bugbear Head Reaver, gee, I wonder why, this is another outstanding miniature. Holding an axe in one hand while he brandishes a severed head in the other, as if taunting his foes to come get some. Note the two other heads hanging off his belt off his back. He chooses chain for his armor, but is unshod, showing off the black claws of his toenails. Score: Pain 18, Pose 23, Playability 17, Pizzazz 25, for a score of 83. Same year, different set. From the Against the Giants set, we get this Bugbear Lancebreaker, heavily armored in chainmail and helm, along with a huge wooden and steel shield perfect for blocking a lance from a mounted knight. Also perfect is the somewhat longer warhammer he uses to break said lance, followed up no doubt with breaking said knight's head. Facial detailing isn't as strong on this one, but I do like the detailed straps across his torso, a skull hanging from one. Score: Paint 19, Pose 17, Playability 15, Pizzazz 20, for a score of 71. We round out 2008 with two Bugbears from the Demon Web set. The first is Bugbear Strangler. As you can no doubt guess by his name, this guy is not one for charging into the fray. No. His lot is to hang back in the shadows and pick off the unwary. He stands quietly, loose-fitting brown trousers over his tan fur, heavily dark-washed, and bare feet for silent skulking. Of course, his weapon of choice is a leather garrote, held low and ready, as deadly as the sharpest axe. Score: Paint 16, Pose 16, Playability 13, Pizzazz 15, for a score of 60. Also from Demon Web, we get our final WOTC Bugbear mini, simply called a Bugbear Warrior. Another amazing miniature from paint to pose. Another charging pose, in this case with spiked mace held high in his right hand, while his left stretches forward, almost as if reaching for his foe. Face is also among the most detailed we've seen so far, ears laid back on his head, mouth wide open, and fangs bared at his enemy. Leather breastplate and cream loincloth is it for clothing, better to display the finely detailed fur on his body. Remember, I warned you about possible score creep, but again, my video, my rules. Score 100. We get our first WizKids Bugbear in their first set, 2014's Tyranny of Dragons, and we definitely get shrinkage. I don't know. Maybe it's more creature correct, but this mini pales in comparison to the WOTC versions. Darker fur does not show off as well as the tawnier fur, and the face leaves a bit to be desired as well. What's with the unibrow? I do like the spiked mace he carries low to the ground in his right hand, though. Score: Paint 13, Pose 14, Playability 13, Pizzazz 13, for a score of 53. A year later, we get this Bugbear Hunter Mini in 2015's Rage of Demons set. Exact same size and color palette of the TOD Mini, dark fur, dark leather armor, and spiked mace. WizKids did add a spear strap to his back for flavor, though, so there's that. Posed with mace held in two hands high above his head with the intention of swinging it down upon an enemy's skull. You could easily use this mini and the TOD one interchangeably. The TOD as he charges into the fray, this one when he gets there. Scoring reflects this. Paint 13, Pose 14, Playability 13, Pizzazz 13, for the same score of 53. You're killing me, Smalls. From 2017's Monster Menagerie 2 set, we get the most WizKids of things, dual minis. Although these do appear to be female, so I guess that would explain the lack of size. Again, pose is identical, legs set wide apart, slightly crouched, and attention focused forward. We get the usual weapon differences: axe and silver armor bits for the common version, battle axe and golden armor for the uncommon. Score: Paint 13, Pose 13, Playability 16, Pizzazz 13, for a score of 55. WizKids then goes 5 years before giving us another bugbear in 2022's Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse set, and maybe they got the memo, because this one is bigger, tawnier, and better than anything they've done so far, bugbear-wise. This guy would be an absolute nightmare to fight, with the large spikes protruding from his armor, but especially due to the two-handed, very spiky mace. Finally, WizKids gets it. Score: Paint 18, Pose 25, Playability 23, Pizzazz 22, for a score of 88. Or maybe not. You are not serious, WizKids. You follow up an absolutely awesome, common bugbear miniature with these? From the Bigby Presents Glory of the Giants set, we get these 3 minis taking up 3 of the 12 common slots. The first is armed with a spiked mace, the second, a female with a spear, and the last with the battle axe. At least they're all different sculpts this time. I know they're different enough to warrant individual scores, but they're just too mid. So let's just call it a score of 50 across the board. I don't usually do this, but I cannot recommend enough the WOTC Bugbears from 2006 through 2008. I mean, look at these magnificent bastards. And they're all commons and uncommons, so easy to get. Not looking to disparage WizKids here, but if you need a bugbear warband, go WOTC.
And with that, we have finished with the Bugbear minis, as well as the Goblinoid class as a whole. I haven't figured out what I'm going to tackle next. If you have a thought, leave it in the comments. As always, thanks for watching Eye of the Beholder. See you next time. Please like and subscribe.